Hello everyone, this is Adeilah from Jigsaw Organizing Solutions, helping you to live more minimally and sustainably. So lately I've been having a lot of people mentioning the KonMari method, or the method by Marie Kondo, and I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts about it and how my method is a little bit different than hers. The thing that really struck me about her method, especially in the show, is how she will she'll go through the people's things, help them through, the process that is her own specific process, and then she just kind of leaves them and essentially gives them homework to accomplish by themselves. I've never done it that way, and I feel like that wouldn't be as effective for most of the clients that I've dealt with anyways. They usually need that help and support and like reassurance throughout the entire process. And, if someone's going through a mountain of clothing, they're gonna have a hard time with that. And so I found it kind of interesting how they just sort of glossed over that part in the show and didn't really talk about it at all. And yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Of course, the most popular and kind of sometimes made fun of part of her show is the joy part. And I find joy is kind of it's like in a way it's a good word that she chose, because it's really trendy, and it's kind of it's ear-catching essentially, and it draws people's attention. But I find joy isn't really as relevant to every single item. And so if you have clothing, say, like, yeah, a couple outfits might bring you joy, but some you might just wear because it's your work uniform, or it's like they're just pajamas, and they don't necessarily bring you joy. So I find usually when I go through and help my clients throughout the decluttering process, I usually get them to ask themselves, like, do I actually like this? Like, do I feel good in this piece of clothing? Did I enjoy reading this book? And it's not just one specific word that encompasses everything. It's multiple kind of concepts about each item. I don't ever say, does this bring you joy? I more try to see if it is something of value to my client, if it's something that is useful to them, something that they like using, something that's easy to use. If it's sentimental items, I feel like joy could definitely be a really great way of looking at it, because if it's like an old photograph or something, that could definitely bring you joy, just the memory of something. So joy can be, I think, a very useful word, but I think for it to be applied to every single thing in someone's house doesn't really work as well. Another part of her method that differs from mine is that she goes through those certain categories. So clothing is number one, then there's books. But one category is kimono, which encompasses kitchen, bathroom, and garage, which are all three very, very large categories. What I find to be the most effective is to just go room by room. I find it can be a lot less daunting, because if you're taking stuff from the entire house and putting it in one big pile, it's great in one way because you're able to visualize and actually see what you have in its entirety. But along the same point, it can also be incredibly overwhelming for people. And especially with her method, where she just gives them homework and then leaves, it wouldn't be a very good option for a lot of people who will get overwhelmed very easily. So I find her method is really great for certain people, I'm sure. Like, it's probably very, very effective. But I find that she kind of sells it as like a one-size-fits-all, where this method will work for every single person. And I really don't think that's the case. That being said, it's great that she's bringing so much exposure to the industry, because professional organizers are really not that well known yet. So it's nice in that way, because at least a lot of people are kind of talking about it more. But the other side of that too is I've read a few articles recently about how there's been so many people decluttering and purging their items that now thrift stores are getting completely bombarded with so much more than what they usually are, especially this time of year. And so they're just being completely overwhelmed by it, and there's not the demand in the same way for people who thrift shop, because not everyone does go thrift shopping. And so I think a lot of it is ending up getting tossed into the garbage, which is really, really unfortunate. And so I feel like it's great that she's getting the idea out there, But of course, because everyone's binge watching the show now and wanting to declutter their lives, it also has a little bit of a negative impact too. But I find that there can be other ways that can be effective to get rid of items. People can try and sell them, doing like swapping groups, whether on Facebook. Sometimes I'll use Kijiji to get rid of stuff for free. And I live in an apartment, so it's easier for me. I don't feel like insecure about someone knowing where I live because they don't know what unit I'm in. But yeah, at least in those ways, you know that it's directly going to someone and not potentially sitting in a thrift shop for a month and then just getting thrown out because no one bought it. So that's something to think about as well. Yeah, I hope you guys liked this kind of rant discussion about the KonMari method. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about it. Maybe it's something that has changed your life. Yeah, or if there's ideas about it that you didn't really like so much, I'd love to hear your opinions on it. So please leave any comments in the comment section below. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye.